This is the exact model that I use to trade gold, futures and forex. It's simple, it's clean, and it's built around one thing, and that's liquidity. If you're someone that feels lost when looking at the chart sometimes, don't worry, you're not the only one. A lot of people have experienced that, but all you're lacking is a little bit of structure to your trading. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be able to take away some of those points, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. So what is the kind of core of the model? It's relatively simple. We understand that price seeks liquidity, right? So we can mark out things such as session highs and lows. And when we understand where price is likely to go based on where liquidity lies, we can essentially catch a reversal from that point or a continuation. So once we've swept liquidity, we would look for something such as reversal, or we'd look for a pullback to continue higher, depending on what the higher timeframes look like. But this gives you a bit of an idea. Now, more specifically, we actually use session-based liquidity. Now, what I mean by session-based liquidity is this. So you can see here that we have the Asia high and we have the Asia low. So these are two liquidity points. As soon as London has come in, you can see that price has ended up taking the Asia high and then it's created a new high. So this is where liquidity lies. We understand liquidity lies at highs and lows. Now, if we just play price out, let's watch what happens. You can see here that we're just stuck between a range. Now all of a sudden we sweat this liquidity point. This is now the most predominant liquidity point. We also mark out the London low. This is New York Open, as you can see at 2:30. The London low was created here. So now can you see that we swept the London low and we've had a really strong reaction? Now, where would you anticipate price to go next? And this is where we can look at the bigger picture and you can actually see that we're in an uptrend. So would I anticipate price to go down there? Probably not. So this is where we can look to get involved in price. So now that we understand the higher time frame picture, we'd anticipate price to flush to this high. This is exactly where we'd look to try get involved within the market. So now that I've explained to you kind of overall picture, let's actually get into some technical stuff. So first of all, this model is best traded on forex, futures and commodities like gold. It works very well with fast-paced markets. So myself and the team at TTC, how we approach the market is relatively simple. We take trades anywhere from a 30-second all the way to a 15-minute. So we're in the lower time frames. However, some of the confluences in this video can also be used for things like swing trading and also day trading. So now that we understand how price moves with liquidity, let's see if we can frame up a trade. So we will use this same example as shown before. So before I actually mark them out, I'm going to give you a few seconds to actually look and see if you can identify the liquidity points for yourself. I've left one marked out as a little clue. So if you said this high up here, you would be correct. And bonus points if you said this high would no longer be valid. And if you said this low down here, you would be correct. Or any of these lows really. So the first step of the model is to understand where price is currently respecting. What I mean by this is you can see this area here and you can see prices fail to break below this level. Now yeah, it's basically support and resistance, but essentially fair value gaps, or I call them gaps, can be used such as support and resistance. So knowing this, if price comes down and takes out this low for example, and this was our strong draw of liquidity, this would be a good place to get in line with the long. Next, I'll be looking for divergences. I'll come to a 15-minute time frame as I feel they're easier to find on here. Now, when looking for divergences, you want to use two correlating assets. Correlated assets are going to be shown on screen. But in this example, I'm going to be using NQ and ES. So firstly, I just want to show you, this is NQ and this is ES. And if I flicker between them, can you see there's not much of a difference? They look pretty similar. This is what we look for when we have things such as a liquidity sweep. So you can see here that ES has managed to push higher than this low here, and NQ hasn't. You see how this high hasn't been taken, but on ES it has. This is what you'd call a divergence. So how you'd mark it out on your chart is this: simply grab it and you just mark it to the high. So that would be a divergence. So what this shows us is a discrepancy in price. One is weaker than the other. Now it doesn't matter which one of these makes the high or low. If I was to switch this round, so NQ is on the left and ES was on the right, it's still a divergence. Probably should have mentioned before, this is a bearish example as it's on the highs. So this would be an example of a bullish divergence. You can see that this low has been taken on ES and the same low on NQ hasn't been taken, showing us as a div. So we would then look to frame up for a long anywhere between here. So now we're going to go back to NQ and ES and I'm going to just check if they're moving in sync. So what can we see currently? Well, they pretty much look the same. So at this point here, we'll just let price do its thing and see what it wants to do first. So if you didn't remember before, this was the gap that we also had drawn out. It was the 15-minute gap that was being respected. So I'll just jump onto a lower time frame and we'll play price out and see what price does. So price has come down and it's taken liquidity. So if we go to ES, you can actually see that that same low hasn't been taken. If I go to a 15-minute time frame, you may be able to see it a little bit clearer. So pay attention to the wicks. See, NQ has taken this liquidity point, ES has not. So what is that? If you said a divergence, you would be correct. So we have a div inside of this gap as well, which is just even stronger. Now if we come over to a 1 minute time frame, you can actually see prices now come into this gap. So I'll just come onto a lower time frame and I'll actually find my manipulation leg, the new high that created the low. I will go through this in another video, as this tool can be quite discretional. What I mean by that is it can be used a lot of different ways, but if you want a more in-depth breakdown of this tool, comment PDF and I'll send you how to use it. So we have our manipulation leg, the new high that's created the low. Now these levels, the deviation 2, 2.5 and -4 are strong levels that are likely to hold, and then prices come down hitting the deviation -4. Now if you pay attention, remember it was when price came into the -4, it created the divergence between NQ and ES. As you can see, that low hasn't been taken on ES. So now that we have all three of these confluences, the higher time frame gap being respected, divergence, and also a reaction from the deviation -4, we can now zoom onto a lower time frame and look for our entry. So we use an inverse gap as an entry model. I'll just give you a very brief example. So we all know this here is a fair value gap. Now what a lot of people look to do, price will come into the inverse gap and they'll look for that continuation. We do the complete opposite. So we sweat liquidity and then price needs to flush through this gap, inversing it, showing us there's a discrepancy in price. Now when price pushes through it like this and it inverses this completely, this is a strong sign for us that it could reverse. So this is how we frame up for our entry models. So doing the same again as I've just shown on the previous example, you can see here that we've created a fair value gap. Now what do we want to see price do? Break through it. If you look at the bigger picture, this is looking like a pretty good trade right now. Now why do we think the price is going to go higher? Because we have the liquidity point that lies up here. Because we use the inverse gap as an entry, let's wait to see if price can close through it. So at this point here, I would look to enter. With this amount of volume and a safe enough stop loss where it shows my idea is wrong, this is a perfectly valid trade. So in terms of stop loss placement, I'll put it below this candle wick here. It's got a lot of breathing room. It's safe just in case the market wants to push a little bit lower back into this gap. We'll simply target the next row of liquidity. You can see that momentum is carried on here. Now, in order to protect myself, I don't want to see price come back down here. We've had a very good push out of here, so I wouldn't want to see price return. So I would set break even. And then prices come straight up, targeting the opposing draw of liquidity. Now, if this is your first time seeing something like this, don't be overwhelmed, because you'll understand technical analysis is actually just pattern recognition. Once you see certain things, it's kind of hard to unsee it. So the more you view it in a specific way and you look at it from a model's perspective, for example, the model that I've shown you today, the more you look for these things and you have the guidance there to do it, you will make some very fast progress. Because technical analysis is not that difficult. You can trade for 3 months and you can easily understand all these points. And if you're fairly new to things like this and you haven't seen videos that are in depth like this before, you see a lot of technical analysis is just turning up every day and almost being shown what you need to see. For example, the concepts that I've shown you in this video, if I was to sit with you and show you how to do it every single day for a week, you'd probably be able to go in your own chart and figure it out for yourself. And that is the model. Using liquidity, specific confluences as shown today, and just going with the higher time frame picture. And just to show you all the trades that I've taken over the course of this year, you can see the average returns about 2.5R and the win rate's very high. I have more break evens than losses and I have more wins than losses. I'm very lucky as I don't trade by myself. I actually trade with a team of people. I trade every day Monday to Friday with my mentor Todd, who I mentioned has been trading for 14 years. My very good friend Chris, and we built a community of traders. There's only 30 of us. We're a small knit team that trade together, meaning that a lot of the time we are taking similar trades, but when we win together. And it just gives me massive confidence knowing that I'm not in this alone. I've got a great community around us and we're all focused on that one thing: freedom, building the high income skill of trading. If that sounds like something you're interested in, you should check out the TTC official Instagram page, or you can check the link in my bio, where you'll be able to book a one-to-one call and see if you're a good fit. And finally, I just want to say I hope you found this video helpful. I understand there's a lot we ran through today, but if you have any questions, feel free just to leave them in the comments. I'll go through in as much detail as you want, so don't be afraid to ask any questions. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.